Ever felt like a whole day passed and you got absolutely nothing done? We're busy, maybe even overwhelmed. But when you look back, it's like, and get your life in sync. One small change at a time. Where did all that time go? Every single day, and chances are, you don't even know it's happening. Hi, and welcome back to One Daily Time Tip, the channel where we help you take control of your day, build better habits. Today's topic, it's a game changer. We're going to talk about something that's silently stealing 3 hours of your day. But by the end of this video, you will not only see those hidden time traps, you all know exactly how to shut them down and get that time back. We're breaking it down in 4 parts. First, we'll hold up a mirror. Where's your time actually going? Then we'll share a real story of someone who used this knowledge to transform their life and income. Next, we'll break down the science. Why your brain wants to get distracted. Finally, I'll walk you through a simple, powerful system to take control again, starting today. So grab a drink, get comfortable, or better yet, play this while cleaning your desk or going for a walk. Now, let's get into it. Let's paint a familiar picture. You wake up, you reach for your phone. You say, just 5 minutes. But 42 minutes later, you're still scrolling. Then it's the morning rush. Emails, notifications, news. You try to work, but you've already answered for texts and switched between 3 tabs in the first 15 minutes. Fast forward to the end of the day, you're exhausted, you feel like you've been on all day, but what did you actually do? Sound familiar? You're not alone. This is how millions of us are leaking time. Not in big dramatic ways, but through tiny, invisible cuts. Let me be blunt. You are not too busy. You're bleeding time. Studies show the average adult loses 2.5 to 4 hours per day to unintentional, low-quality, unproductive activities, and that's before Netflix. The hidden time traps here, where most of the time goes, and I want you to mentally check off which ones apply to you. Checking your phone first thing in the morning. Multitasking between tabs while working, micro breaks that turn into 30-minute. Scroll holes answering every notification. Immediately. Jumping between emails and chats without batching over-planning or productive procrastination individually. Each of these feels small, but they add up, and they cost you not just time, but focus, energy, and clarity. But I feel busy all day. Isn't that enough? Where's the trap? Feeling busy does not equal being productive. In fact, busyness often masks poor time management. We chase urgency. Instead of importance, we confuse motion with progress. Here's something you'll hear me say often. You need better control of the ones you already have. You don't need more hours. Mirror moment. Is this you? Let's slow it down. Think back to yesterday. Try to recall, hour by hour, what you did. What time did you actually start your day? How long were you on social media? How often did you check your email? Did you jump between tasks? How many things did you start but not finish? It's hard to say, right? That's not your fault. We're not trained to think this way. That's the first truth bomb. If you don't track your time disappears. Small action, the yesterday test. Before we move on, try this quick exercise today. Grab a notebook or open your notes app. Write down everything you can remember doing yesterday, hour by hour. Add up how much time went to focused work distractions. Unplanned breaks passive consumption. Then ask yourself, is that how I want to be spending my time? No guilt, no shame. Just awareness, because awareness is where change begins. Okay, now that you've looked in the mirror, to clarity, income, and impact, just by reclaiming 3 hours a day, let's see what happens when someone really takes this seriously. In the next segment, I'll share a true story of someone who went from constant distraction. You ready? Let me introduce you to someone named Matt. Matt is a freelance graphic designer from the US, and just like many of us, he thought he had a time problem. He was always working, yet somehow always behind. Projects ran late, he was missing deadlines. His income plateaued. He couldn't figure out why, until one client dropped him and said, "You're talented, Matt, but working with you is like waiting for a bus with no schedule." That one line hit him hard, and it was his wake-up call. Matt's a real problem. A day full of distraction. Here's how Matt's day used to look. He'd start his morning scrolling through Twitter for inspiration, then bounce between Adobe Illustrator, Slack messages, and email. constantly. He'd grab coffee, check Instagram, respond to DMS. At lunch, he'd watch YouTube for research, for 2 hours. By 3 p.m., he was in full guilt mode. He'd panic finish client work late at night, barely focused, stressed, tired. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't undisciplined. He was simply distracted, without realizing it. The turning point after losing that client, Matt did something radical. He opened a blank Google Sheet and tracked every 15 minutes of his day for 7 days straight. At the end of the week, the data shocked him. He thought he was working 8 to 10 hours a day. But in reality, he was doing real, focused work for only 2 hours and 47 minutes a day. Everything else swallowed by distractions. That's when he realized, I don't need more hours. I need to own the ones I have. What Matt did next. The shift Matt made 3 major changes that changed everything. He set 3 deep work zones a day. No phones, no Slack, no email, just 90 minutes of focused design work. He used a time audit for 14 more days. Every day, he rated his energy and focus on a 1 to 10 scale every hour. This helped him learn when he worked best. He started ending his day at 5 p.m. no matter what, Parkinson's law says. Work expands to fill the time available. By creating a hard stop, he actually focused more during the day. The results after 90 days, Matt's income grew by 65%. He delivered projects faster and got better clients because his quality improved. He had evenings and weekends completely free. And most importantly, he felt in control for the first time in years. When asked what changed, he said, I stopped being busy and started being intentional. Real takeaway for you, you don't need to be a freelancer to apply Matt's system. This works whether you're a student, 9-to-5 employee, parent, or side hustler. And it starts with one thing. Awareness plus ownership equals freedom. Mini challenge. Just for today, try tracking your time in 15 or 30-minute blocks. Write it down in a notebook or use a free app like Toggle or Clockify. At the end of the day, color code it. Deep work, maintenance tasks, distractions, then just look at it. Don't judge it, because the moment you see it, you can shift it. So, why is it so hard to stay focused in the first place? Even when we want to do better, distractions always seem to win. What's going on in our brain, and how can we use that knowledge to beat it? Let me tell you something a bit uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't actually want to focus. It wants dopamine. Yep, that's the truth. And understanding that single sentence can reframe everything about how you manage time. Let me explain. Dopamine. Your brain's habit boss, dopamine, is a neurotransmitter, a fancy word for a chemical messenger. But you don't need to remember the science terms. Here's all you need to know. Dopamine is the chemical of anticipation, not reward. Expectation of reward. So when your brain thinks something exciting might happen, boom, dopamine. And guess what gives you little jolts of dopamine? Notifications, new emails, social media likes, a new YouTube video, even switching between tabs. Each of those is a dopamine hit. That's why they're addictive. You're not weak. You're chemically wired for it. The habit loop of distraction, let's break it down, using the classic habit loop model. Cue. You're working on a boring task. Craving. You feel mentally uncomfortable. You want relief. Response. You grab your phone just to check something. Reward. A funny meme. New email. Boom, dopamine. And just like that, your brain says, yes. Let's do that again next time. Every distraction becomes a habit, not because of the content, but because of the chemical hit. The real cost. Attention residue, let's go even deeper. Ever heard of attention residue? It's a concept by Dr. Sophie Leroy. And here's how it works. When you switch from task A to task B, your brain doesn't instantly shift. Part of your focus stays stuck on task A for several minutes, even if you were technically working on something else. So even a 15-second notification can cost you 10 to 15 minutes of full focus. If you're switching between apps, emails, tabs, and tasks, 20 to 30 times a day, you're leaking hours of focus, not just minutes. Why this matters? Let me repeat this clearly. Distraction isn't just stealing your time. It's destroying the quality of your thinking. It makes your work take longer. It makes it harder to solve problems. And it leaves you feeling like you did a lot, but finished nothing. Ever feel that? Metaphor time? Your brain is like a light bulb versus a laser. Think of your attention like light scattered. It's glowing but unfocused. When you're distracted, it's like a light bulb. When you're focused, it's like a laser beam. Sharp, powerful, productive. Both are made of the same energy, but the laser gets results. That's what we're aiming for. What the brain needs instead, boredom, rhythm, and boundaries, here's the twist. Your brain wants novelty, but it needs rhythm. When you give it consistent patterns, like working in blocks, taking timed breaks, turning off notifications, you're helping it conserve energy and enter flow. And flow. That state where time flies and you re-deepen what you're redoing is where the magic happens. But you can get to flow if you re-ping in between 5 apps every 10 minutes. TL drive. You're fighting chemistry without a strategy. Dopamine hijacks your habits. Tension residue hijacks your productivity. Lack of boundaries hijacks your day. And none of this is your fault. But now that you know, you can shift. Mini practice. Build a dopamine barrier. Here's something small you can try today. Create one dopamine barrier for your next work session. Examples. Put your phone in a drawer. It's a website blocker like Cold Turkey or Freedom. Set your browser to open only one tab at a time. Put your device on Do Not Disturb for 60 minutes. You don't need to do it all the time. Just once a day to start. Because the more you protect your attention, the more time you get back. And the less exhausted you'll feel. So, we've seen the mirror, heard the story, and decoded the science. Now, it's time to build your system. A real, repeatable method to own your time every single day. In segment 4, I'll walk you through a time audit plus time blocking routine you can start immediately after this video. And trust me, it's easier than you think. We're combining 2 powerhouse tools in this segment. A time audit, to clearly see where your time is going, and time blocking, to reclaim and control it intentionally. Together, they create a feedback loop that helps you break distraction and design your ideal day. Let's go step by step. Part 1. The 3-day time audit. No, before you optimize, you can't improve what you don't measure. Peter Drucker. Most people guess how they spend their time, but when they actually measure it, they're shocked. So here's what to do. Step 1. Track your time in 30-minute chunks for 3 days. You can do this in a notebook, Excel, Notion, or even a Google Sheet. Label each block as deep work, shallow work, distraction, personal maintenance break, recovery, no judgment, no perfection. Just write what actually happens, even if it's scrolled Instagram or checked email 5x in 30 minutes. Step 2. Color code it once the 3 days are done. Highlight each category with a different color. You'll immediately see your patterns. And probably something like this. Distractions during high energy hours. No clear boundaries between work and rest. Lots of half work time. This visual insight is powerful. It gives you a map of your current behavior. Part 2. Time blocking. Reclaim your day 1 block at a time now that you see your time. Let's build a better system. Time blocking means assigning specific tasks to fixed times, like appointments with yourself. Here's how to do it without feeling overwhelmed. Step 1. Identify your peak focus hours from your audit. When were you most alert, most creative, least distracted? That becomes your deep work zone. For most people, this is usually morning or late night block. This time every day, even just 90 minutes. Protect it like a meeting with your future self. Step 2. Build 3 types of time blocks. Your day needs rhythm, not just tasks. Use these 3 simple blocks. Focus blocks. Deep work. 1 task. No switching. No notifications. Admin blocks. Emails. Logistics. Meetings. Errands. Batch them together. Recovery blocks. Walks. Meditation. Stretching. Eating without screens. Use Google Calendar, a paper planner, or a whiteboard. Whatever works for you. The key is planning the type of time, not just the tasks. Step 3. The golden rule. 1 task per block. Multitasking is the enemy here. Even switching between tabs is costing you more time than you realize. So in each block, pick 1 task. Or define the outcome. Set a timer if needed. If distractions pop up, write them down on a later list and get back to the block. Example, time-blocked day, time block type activity. 8:30 to 10 o'clock focus block writing client article. Studying notes 10 o'clock to 10:15 recovery. Block walk plus snack 10:15 to 11:30 focus. Block design work, class assignment 11:30 to 12:30 admin block email scheduling. 12:30 to 1:30 recovery. Block lunch 1:30 to 3 o'clock focus block edit work. Deep study 3 o'clock to 3:30 admin block Slack calls, messages. 3:30 onward recovery. Free blocks, it's flexible. It's intentional. It puts you in charge. Small practice for today. The 2-block challenge? Let's keep it simple. Today or tomorrow. Try this. Choose just 2 blocks. 1 focus block and 1 admin block. Block them on your calendar, even if it's just 60 minutes. Stick to them like you would a doctor's appointment. Even 1 day of intentional time can shift your energy. Because once you see how good it feels to finish a block, you'll want to keep going. You don't need a perfect schedule. Just a better default. Let's end this segment with a phrase I want you to remember. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Perfection leads to guilt. Consistency leads to growth. 1 block at a time, day. 1 day at a time. That's how you take your time and your life back. So we've reached the end of our journey. You've looked in the mirror, seen the proof, understood the science, and built your system. Now let us wrap this up with a powerful recap and one final push to take action today. Let's pause for a moment. You made it through an hour, maybe even 2, of learning, reflecting, and planning. That already puts you way ahead of most people who just keep running through their days without ever asking, where's my time going and how do I take it back? Let's quickly recap what you've just unlocked. Key takeaways: you're not too busy. You're leaking time. Small, repeated distractions are quietly stealing 2 to 4 hours from your day. Awareness is the first step. A time audit reveals the truth. Even just 1 to 3 days of tracking can change how you see your life. Distraction is chemical, not character. Dopamine, attention residue, and habit loops are working against your focus, unless you design systems that support you. Time blocking is your structure for freedom. It's not about rigidity. It's about clarity, boundaries, momentum. And now you have a system. Time audit gives identify patterns, gives build focus, and admin blocks gives repeat. That's the framework that helped Matt go from burnout to thriving, and it can work for you, too. 1 small step. What you can do right now, right after this video, I want you to do just 1 thing. Open your calendar and block 2 hours tomorrow. 1 focus block, 1 admin block, even if you're not sure what to do with them yet. Just reserve the space, because the minute you claim time for yourself, you send a message to your brain. This matters. I matter. From there, everything gets easier. Let's keep the momentum going if this video helped you. Tell me in the comments. What's 1 habit or distraction you're going to fix this week? You never know who you'll inspire by sharing your answer. 1 small habit at a time. Subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss what is next. And if you want more practical tips like this, 1 a day, final words. You deserve your time back. You only get 1 life. You don't need more hours. You don't need more hustle. You just need to own your time. A little more each day. So wherever you are, whatever your goals are, remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. 1 block at a time, 1 win at a time, 1 day at a time. Thanks for spending this time with me. And now go take yours back.